Hey everyone, Level here. Before we start, I just want to say thank you so much for the warm reception I received. I got some really great comments on the last video, just saying they appreciated it, and it was just very great to see. I think for me, I make these videos to allow people to see my own mental health journey and how I've not only coped but progressed through it and have really grown since. And I want to make sure that ultimately you guys have a honest and straightforward view. So I appreciate people just commenting and saying they like the video. So I'll keep making more for you guys. Just one quick disclaimer, just want to make sure everyone's aware. I'm not a licensed therapist. I do not have any degrees in mental health or any authority in that. So please, seek help through a therapist or people you trust, and please get the help you need if you need to. I'm fully in support of you getting the help you need, and I hope you know that these videos are made just to make sure you can know that there are people who have gone through and have had similar stories, and I'm saying this all as an education tool. So with that said, let's begin. Alright, so I have been on Sertraline, or Zoloft as it is known, for about 2 years. I started in March of 2024, and I'd say for me, I was a little nervous to jump in initially. So I remember I was going through quite a lot in my life at that point. I was dealing with a very big stressor, and I was chatting with my therapist, and I kind of just told her, I feel emotionally drained. I felt like there were some days where I couldn't get out of bed. I felt like I'd look in the mirror and just not like the way I looked, and just had a very low self-esteem. And I think for me, I wasn't expecting her to say, maybe you should try a antidepressant, and that was not the response I was expecting from her. I started at 50 milligrams, and I slowly moved up to 100. Jumping onto a medication like that for the first time was a very new process for me, because I had never really been on a prescription medication like that for long term. So jumping into something like that was just very eye-opening. I mean, the first side effects I had was just nausea. I remember every morning I'd wake up just feeling gross, feeling like I had to throw up, and just didn't feel amazing. Even then it started getting harder to sleep. I remember I would just kind of toss and turn in bed at night the first couple days. And even more, when I would sleep, I'd have really vivid dreams. And that's something that I feel like I hear a lot of people talk about, but I had so many weird dreams. It got to the point where I remember, in high school, college, I'd have all these vivid dreams, and that went away as soon as I graduated. And then immediately after, I went to start taking that again, and suddenly I'm back to having weird dreams. So that's probably the biggest thing that definitely made me feel different to when I wasn't taking sertraline. And I think for me, it took about 2 weeks to really start feeling better. It made me feel like initially I wasn't really feeling anything, and I was still dealing with all the stress in my life. And what really helped was recognizing my moods through mood journal. So I kept a mood journal for the first month, and it's every day I wrote down, hey, today I feel this way, today I feel that way, I felt sad today, I felt scared, I felt happy, today is a good day or a bad day. I try to be descriptive about it, because it helped me look back and say, okay, you know what, 3 days ago I was feeling this way, and now I'm feeling this way. 3 days ago I felt hopeless, and now I feel hope. It was a cool realization to look at, how I would track my mood. And that initial point after the first 2 weeks, I remember vividly, I was watching a TV show with some friends, and I was just sitting there, and I thought to myself, everything's gonna be okay. The stressors, the things in my life that was weighing me down, that was making me depressed, making me anxious, it allowed me to say, I'm still having a good time. I'm hanging out with friends. I'm around people who care about me. That's really what helped. And that really brings me to the next point, that I had a support network that would check in with me. So I pretty much, as soon as I started taking the medication, I reached out to a couple close friends, and I basically told them that, hey, I'm going on this medication. I would appreciate you guys would check in with me. I met with people in person. I told people within my inner group, just said, hey, I need help. I'm going through a lot right now, and I need your help. Could you be there for me? And it was just a support network. I created a support network that to this day I still have. There are times where I need to send a message out and say, hey, I'm not really feeling the best today. Today has been a little rough. Today I'm going through something. could I talk to you for a couple minutes? Could we chat? Could you just help me relax a little bit more? Having that support group really opened me up to the concept of being able to reach out for help, to be honest with my friends, to tell them that I needed help and to not go at it alone. And for me, at least, that was a novel idea. I wasn't really considering that. I think another thing that helped was just really therapy sessions every week. I would very much make sure I was doing therapy. I was chatting with my therapist, telling her progress updates, and I met with her every week. And I made sure I felt good about that, because ultimately that was where my check-in moments was saying, hey, this is how far I've progressed. What do you think? Is this a good mindset? And ultimately setting realistic goals. I knew I wasn't going to be better overnight. I knew it wasn't just going to be a one-day thing. It takes time. It takes time to feel better about yourself, to feel better about your life. And for me, at least, it took quite a while to finally get over that fence that I needed help. And I definitely attribute being on Sertraline as one of the things that finally got me to not only take my mental health seriously, but to continue me on that journey. So with all that said, I am still on the journey. I still have anxiety. I still have depression. I still deal with very anxious thoughts. And I still have situations in my life that stress me out quite a bit. And with that said, I also know that I have a great support group where I can reach out to them. Even recently, I've reached out to them, and they've been very much willing to help me. I mean, I legit reached out to one of them and said, hey, I didn't have a very good day today. Today sucked. Can we go over today and figure out what I can do better and how I can feel better? So that has been a fantastic skill that I've really built since the start of this journey. And I will say that the medication, for me at least, is a support. It allows me to get through my day. It allows me to make myself feel like I can look back in the mirror and say, I see a man that's improving, that's progressing, that is taking every learning that he has been given and actively trying to do better. If there's one takeaway that I can leave for you from this video, it's that your mental health journey often starts with one single step. For me, I started with just getting my foot in the door with therapy and then telling people, hey, I feel depressed today, I feel anxious, and telling people that and starting that journey, because then that led me to realizing, hey, maybe I do need to support with mental health, with medication, and then that allowed me to realize that I needed to be putting more practice in with things like cognitive behavioral therapy and needing to practice those skills and coping mechanisms, and then suddenly 2 years later I'm here reminiscing on being on this medication. And I think for me that's just such an important look back, is that if I can look back from 2 years ago on my own mental health journey and see the improvements in my life and see just how much of a different person I am and my day-to-day, then I personally believe that can happen to you too. And that only happens with that first step on your mental health journey. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, to hear my voice, just to tune in a little bit from your crazy day. I hope you have a great day. Know that you are loved. Know that whatever situation you're going through, you will make it through and everything will be okay. Have a great day, guys.